Hi YouTube, it's Boston Girl 5560 coming to you with a topic that I think is important for the single mother by choice journey. I've definitely got a lot of thank yous for being a minority expressing my views on this topic, so I thought I would do one on being a minority single mother by choice with African American, black, brown girl, whatever you want to call me. Um, that somebody wants to be in the video. Anyway, so I'm going to start with I am definitely a person that goes into something looking for somebody who looks like me. And I guess you can put it as like you go to a school and you're in a lunchroom and you look for other African American children or black children to sit with. With my high school experience, I did have white friends that I was close to, and probably because I went to the same school system majority of my life, so I carried these friends along. But also, going to college, looking for the brown people, or, even when I went to my first single mother by choice meeting, I was looking for the brown people, and there was one other than the one I brought who ended up being my sister girl, and we've been friends. I think it's going on 2.5, 3 years, and accomplishing the goal we actually came there for. We met because we wanted to have a baby, and now we both actually have babies. My daughter was literally born a year after her daughter. So hers was born in May 2013, and mine was born in May 2014. So God is good. I, ha- I have to say, I have my note card here of the topics I want to cover, but I have to say, I was definitely shocked about the other minorities I saw at the meetings, or I literally only been to 3 meetings, 2 in Massachusetts and 1 in Georgia. In the one in Georgia, I brought a girl with me. She was black. She was my neighbor. And there was another black woman there and an Indian woman there. That shocked me, the whole Indian woman. And this is so stereotypical. I thought most Indian women have arranged marriages and have kids or whatever. And I never really asked her. I mean, I'm cool with her, but I never really asked her story. But that I felt that was interesting. And then at the next meeting, which was a couple years later, in Boston, there was another black woman and an Asian woman, and that shocked me too. She was Asian. Definitely when you're on the single mother by choice forum board, you notice that there's a lot of different minorities or people coming from other countries and things like that are also in this realm of having babies by themselves. But I guess it's different to actually see them and talk to them and meet their children or whatever. So that was definitely an experience. I have to say, I appreciate the black girl love and all the accolades or thank yous I get in the comments for putting this out there. It was very hard to put it out there at first because you don't know the adverse reactions, and do I have a thick skin that if someone says something negative, how would I deal with it, and things like that. So, but when I was going through the process, I wanted someone to talk to me that wasn't gay, you know, and not that I have any, rainbow love. I love gay people. One of my close friends, she's a lesbian and she is my best friend. I mean, this girl got my back. She was there when I gave birth. Her and her partner got my back, and I love them to death. So it's not that I think, and this is just my biased opinion, when you're a lesbian, you already accepted the alternative to have children. When you're heterosexual, you think of, and this is just my bias, the husband and, joining forces with the husband. Not to say, as a lesbian, you don't join forces with a partner, but you don't have the sperm factor. So unless you're getting sperm from another person or a sperm bank or whatever, you already got the alternative down. Where I feel like when you're heterosexual, it's hard to accept that you're going this alternative route. There's definitely phases of this. There's phases of losing the dream, and I might do a video on that, the mourning not having a husband, because in that Snow White or fictional or whatever was told to you, you think you're going to be married and have kids. Now granted, I've seen on the forum that some people never expected to be married. Okay, well, that's their story, but a lot of them did, and I'm under the category of I expected to be married. And hindsight being 2020, if I knew I was going this route, I might have let myself get pregnant by an ex-boyfriend. Not saying let in the sense that I was tricking anybody, because I had an ex-boyfriend who didn't want to use condoms and he didn't care if we got pregnant, and I was all no, I don't want to be a baby mama. You know what I mean? And that's another thing to go into, the stereotypes of Black women. I mean, we're not viewed very highly in a lot of facets. There's bad things said about us in many realms, some coming from our own people, some coming from other people. I can't say it's all coming from the outside, because we have a bad rap from our own people too. But to be viewed like an Atlanta housewife or ghetto or living in the projects with a bunch of kids, or all these negative, or we're all on welfare, and all these negative connotations that really, you really wanted to have a baby with a husband. And not to say I'm trying to fight off any stereotype, and that wasn't really where I was coming at, but I the fact that I said to myself young, I don't want to be a baby's mama, a baby mama or whatever, just shows that I internalized the stereotypes myself, that I didn't want to be perceived that way. And I have to say, I'm sure in this journey I have been perceived that way, but I just ignore it, because the ultimate thing is my baby, which I am head over heels for. She's a hot mess, and she's a diva among divas, and I don't know where the hell she gets that from, because I am so not high maintenance. But anyways, um, there she is. But I definitely internalized not wanting to be ever viewed as that stereotype. Okay, let's go get her. She'll be a little video. Somebody should be taking a nap, but she clearly don't feel like it right now. Here we go. So anyways, if she screams too much, she's fine. Are you done? Are you done? And being a single mother by choice, definitely some words that have been, I guess, said my way, is that I'm brave and that I'm courageous, which I do feel a word. This goes on all day. I do feel words that are connected to all single mothers. You know what I mean? The brave and courageous, because you kind of do what you have to do. Now, granted, I signed on for this, and I'm sure a lot of them did not sign on for being a single mother by choice. I mean, not being a single mother. They probably had a man who wanted, or was left, or was divorced, or 20 million scenarios that did not mean their choice was to be a single mother. This was my choice. I still feel I am brave and courageous, just in a different way. I've had a chance to pre-plan and, opposed to being victimized and put in a position. I pre-planned. Anyways, that's what I feel the difference is. I had the time to make sure that I was in a good financial place and where were we going to live, and it wasn't all this victimization. I actually didn't get pregnant for 2 years until like a year or two after I thought about having a baby. Why did I start making these videos? I already had a YouTube channel actually, and it was just about things going on in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And when I wanted to have the baby, I started looking on YouTube, and as I said, okay, you gotta go. We're gonna put you down because you just. All right, so literally, I had to turn on the Chica show so that she'd stop screaming. Anyway, so let me get back. You're probably still gonna hear her, but whatever. So why did I start making these videos? I started making these videos. I actually had a YouTube channel way before I decided to be a single mother by choice. I was intrigued by YouTube. Even though it's kind of a young people thing, I was intrigued. So I started making YouTube videos. But then when I really got into this journey, I was on YouTube looking for connections, looking for information, and I went to YouTube and I didn't see any brown faces. So then I got a lot of documentaries. I bought them to watch them, and the whole reason was because they had brown faces in them, some of them, and that's why I say, trying to find the Black woman experience when it comes to this, because we do have our own personal issues. The issues that I found the same across the board is finding the village, family acceptance, um, society acceptance, and how you perceive, your society, and how they perceive you. And all that is kind of universal to whatever race you are. Religious acceptance, that's all universal. It depends on your family, your people, and just because and in no race, there's no guaranteed acceptance of this. I think it's hard all the way around. I think some parents are supportive and some are not. So all this to say, I am happy to answer anybody's questions. I've definitely, my time is limited, but I'm willing to do videos on whatever's asked, and I got an answer. Granted, it's all my opinion. I am not an expert. Just want to throw that out there, and I just appreciate the love. And I'm happy to help anybody. I ran into somebody, and um, she mentioned that she wanted a child, but I could tell she mentioned she wanted it with a husband. Like, you could tell that connotation. And I was like, but why don't you do it by yourself? And she was like, wow, like she had thought about it, but then I revealed my situation, and she was like, oh, well, you're the first person I've met who's done this, and women suffer in silence. And anybody I can help not to suffer in silence, I am down for. And I keep people's anonymity. I would never tell anybody her situation, just like I wouldn't want anybody to tell my situation. Granted, I'm on YouTube, but usually the people who will find me are the people who are looking for me, and want information on this topic. So hopefully this video is helpful. It's really a shout out to all the compliments and thank yous and everything I got for doing this, and I'm going to continue to do this. I don't know how long or whatever, but for now it's indefinite. Bye, you.